I get super tired of seeing these headlines over and over and over again, fighting a battle that I don't have a horse in the race of, but realistically, man, if I ever want to bring life into this world, the threat of the public school system is a big reason why there are no little Dons running around right now. Because, well, as somebody who's gone through the system, probably at the last point in time that you could actually say that it was a worthwhile place and worthy of some sort of a reform, it's descended into abject degeneracy. Degeneracy and indoctrination. Like, there's nothing good going on, especially of everything that you're seeing coming out of it. Because I remember old classrooms, right? Like a teacher could make their classroom whatever they want it to be within a certain level. Like I remember certain teachers growing up, one was a big music guy, so he had different quotes from different, palatable 70s and 80s rock songs. A good man. Other ones would just have, little pictures of their family at their desk and kind of sparse walls and stuff like that. But hey man, totally up to them. Also had another really base teacher who had a question box at the back of the room, and then every other Friday he would take some time at the end of the day to read any of the questions that were up there until people started to troll him too much, and then didn't really get any other questions out of that. But that was the extent of extracurricular learning or time spent with the class outside of just this. I don't know, man. Like, they say that they're teachers, but realistically, they're just activists with shitty pay and enormous student debt. Teacher calls for getting rid of girls and boys to break a gender barrier. Or gender binary. Who gives a fuck, man? Like, I'm so tired of all this stuff. Like, you were just called a homophobe or whatever the fuck it was back in the cup when you were saying that, oh, you don't support same-sex marriage? And it's like, no, it's a slippery slope, and it's eventually going to end up with people advocating for horse fucking. Calm down, chink. And it's like, we know where this is ultimately going to end up going. Bestiality, necrophilia, and then eventually, I don't even want to say it, but fuck it for those in the back. They want to normalize pedophilia. That's exactly what they want to go with this. So, you know what? There are some places around the world who are still based and still doing it right. Only, of course, if you know the way. Do you know the way? Well, if you're gay in Uganda, you know exactly where the way is. The way to the roof, and then off the roof. Yo, if I didn't get canceled for one of the fucking videos that I did on Friday, I ain't getting canceled for this shit, so fuck all of you. Mostly because I'm gonna be out here praising Uganda to hell and back, because guess what? This is the most base shit in the fucking world. Uganda passes a law making it a crime to be gay. My man. Uganda Parliament passed a law on Tuesday, making it a crime to identify as LGBTQ, because they take a look at the rest of the world and it's like, this shit is super fucking haram. Abdul, or whatever a traditional Ugandan name is, Jamal, get all the rocks, handing authorities broad powers to target gay Ugandans. Well, here's the thing, man. They didn't just think this off the top of their head. This is something that the Ugandan people wanted at the end of the day. So all of your moral grandstanding over here in the degenerate West, get fucked. This is a celebration video. Yes, broad powers to target gay Ugandans who already face legal discrimination and mob violence. Well, guess what? Guess what? You know how you go out there and you be a pole smoker? You do it like people used to do back in the day. This is just realistically, this is like, stop propagandizing our society. What you do, I don't know what fucking accent that is. I'll eventually get back into it. Whatever you guys do in your own bedroom, that is fine. But out here in public, we don't push that stuff. Identify. No, you are man. You are woman. If you want to lay with man or lay with woman, that is for you on your own time. You need to stop making it your only defining characteristic. It's stupid and we don't want it here. More than 30 African countries. Oh, right. So that's why this isn't making headlines like that, because you can't call it racist, because it kind of stops mass media in the tracks where it's like, you guys are just being homophobic. Oh, they're black. Fuck. We're screwed. But not if you're screwing another man. Ah! More than 38 African countries, including Uganda, already ban same-sex relations. Fucking based. The new law appears to be the first to outlaw merely identifying as lesbian. Yeah, just don't, okay? If you want to run around, you want to scissor, you want to run a train in a fucking bathhouse, do whatever you want. Do it on the low. There's just going to be no pride parades marching down Kampala, okay? But yeah, if you identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer, according to a human rights group. Oh, Human Rights Watch? Yeah, but fuck them. Most of their statements would get them banned from Uganda anyways. Supporters of the new law, like the entire country, say it is needed to punish a broader array of LGBTQ activities. Yeah, fucking rights, which they say threaten traditional values in the conservative and religious East African nation. Yo, this is super fucking based. I love it, man. I love to see when cultures want to enforce their own boundaries. Listen, we don't want any of this shit. If you want to go be gay, if you want to be loud and proud and you're going to go tell everybody, well, go tell everybody somewhere else, okay? Go tell them in one of those other failed westernized states. We see what is successful. Enforcing your boundaries is successful. I love this. I love it to the moon and back, which is also where they're sending all their gays. It's just the only thing that's coming back is the rocket. In addition to same-sex intercourse, no sodomy, the law bans promoting and abetting homosexuality. So if you're keeping gays in the attic, well, guess what? Ugandan FBI open up, as well as conspiracy. So is this like, okay, if you're just down there at the bar, or Ugandan bars, it's just, you know, just like telling dick jokes or one of your friends, oh, just go suck a dick. Is that conspiracy to engage in homosexuality? Yo, man, Elijah Schaefer is down bad on this one. No more dick jokes. Holy. Violations under the law draw severe penalties, and this is where it just gets omega based, including death for so-called aggravated homosexuality. Oh man, RuPaul death sentence in Uganda. Oh my god, and life in prison for gay sex. Well, okay, it almost sounds like incentive for different types of British cigarettes to go engage in that behavior, because then your pool would be vastly engorged. Pause. But it's like, are you gonna have to build larger prisons, or is the gay problem not really a problem like that in Uganda, and they're just kind of blowing this out of proportion because my gay rights? Shut up. Aggravated homosexuality. I can't believe that that's a phrase in a statement. Involves gay sex with people under the... Oh, okay, cool. So statutory rape. Sounds good. Not that, you know, the aggravated part. If you, yeah, involve gay sex as a legal aged person over the age of 18 and you're doing that haram behavior with somebody under the age. Yeah, I like the accelerated factor placed on top of that. Or when the perpetrator is HIV positive. Yo, so this is the total flip reverse of California. Uganda and L California. But then again, you know, if I could state more obvious facts, like the sky is blue, grass is green, and most of Africa is fucking based. Because we got a chart here at the bottom of this. Among other categories, yeah, so, you know, if you're just out there, if you're, yeah, whipping out your AIDS dispenser, you're gonna get you're just gonna get killed. Which is, yo, okay, when it comes to that level, especially if you're inflicting a lifelong sickness on somebody, regardless, man, they're just living out the life that, and living out the laws that I would inflict if I was emperor of the world, because, you know, man, that right there, yeah, you've got a death-seeking missile in your pants, and if you're doing shit like that, yeah, man, you've sentenced other people to death for doing it, because medical technology isn't quite up to snuff in Uganda the same way that it is for Magic Johnson, so let's just fucking stop that for a second. Our God is... Why am I doing Indian? Our Creator God is happy about what is happening. I support the bill. Protect the future of our children. Lawmaker David Batari said during debate on the bill. This is the sovereignty of our nation. Nobody should blackmail us. We all blackmails here. Nobody should intimidate us. The legislation sent to President Yoweri Museveni to be signed into law. He was probably more than willing to sign it. Doesn't look like they necessarily have the strictest dress codes in Parliament, but here you have Bugiri Municipality Member of Parliament, Suman Basalira. Hopefully I got that right. Addresses the House as participants in a debate on anti-homosexuality bill, which proposes, yeah, tough new penalties. Okay, that's wonderful and fantastic. And then you've seen this one beforehand. Uganda Speaker Anita Annette Among sus leads a session during the debate on the anti-homosexuality bill. So yeah, you got the old British parliamentary system that you have right there included. You know, like, they had a really good turnout for this bill. Holy. What was the ultimate vote on that? It's kind of funny that Reuters isn't going to point that out, but here you have Frank Mashuga. A prominent Ugandan LGBTQ activist denounced this legislation as draconian. Well, Frank, you better pack your bags. Well, in your case, pack your shit and get the fuck out. This law is very extreme and draconian. I don't know what a gay accent on a Ugandan accent sounds like, but I'm sure if we listen to an interview from Frank, he could fill us in if he's not too busy filling other people in another country, because get the fuck out, guy. It criminalizes being an LGBTQ person. No, just being loud and proud and indoctrinating other people in order to just line up with your own degeneracy. Do whatever the fuck you want, man, in the privacy of your own home. It's almost like there's gay people that walk among you. Oh my God, that just don't wrap themselves in the rainbow or whatever tri-cornered weirdo flag. They just go about their lives and do whatever the fuck they want. They don't make their sexuality their defining characteristics. Wow. Imagine that. But they are also trying to erase the entire existence of any LGBTQ Ugandan. Yeah, no, that's actually fair. So what are you going to do about it? Leave? Musea, whatever, has not commented on the current proposal, but he has long opposed the whatever rights and signed an LGBTQ law in 2013 that Western countries condemned because the domestic court struck it down on procedural grounds. In recent weeks, Ugandan authorities have cracked down on, all of the alphabet people after religious leaders and politicians alleged students were being recruited into homosexuality in schools. See, why can't we keep that same energy? Why can't we take... Listen, all the Western countries want to just go ahead and throw pity on Africa. Why can't we learn from the people that we help? Help is a two-way street. But it's funny, Reuters is just unquestionably going to report that. It's like, oh yeah, they're saying that there's, like a gay agenda in schools. Like, is there? Well, they're teaching a westernized curriculum. All right, cool. You just proved it. This month, authorities arrested a secondary school teacher in the Eastern District of Jinja over accusations of grooming of young girls into unnatural sex practices. Yo, fucking based. Snatch up that groomer. She was subsequently charged with gross indecency and is in prison awaiting trial. Shout out. Secondary school. All right. Either that's middle school or high school. Regardless, you're still a predator. The police said on Monday they had arrested 6 people accused of running a network that was actively involved in grooming of young boys into acts of sodomy. Yo, what the fuck? Had a Sam Smith watch party that they came in and busted up. But let's take a look at how absolutely based Africa is, okay? So yes, you have same-sex laws in Africa. Everything that's red, let's just say they have a lot of buildings with roof access. You got Chad, subsequently, base name, what's the capital? Tyrone. Outlawed same-sex acts in 2017. Yo! Egypt. Oh, right. Homosexuality is not a crime, but yeah, they're, having a coup every other week, so not exactly a sterling example. Gay men are frequently arrested and charged with debauchery, immorality, or blasphemy. Yep, no, that sounds about right. Somalia. Oh, they got the death penalty in Somalia. All right. Through the penal code, although the penal code calls for prison sentence of up to 3 years, the death penalty may be imposed under Sharia law. Oh, inshallah. Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda. Yeah, Sudan doesn't fuck around. What do you got? Mauritanian. Okay. According to the UN, there is no record of executions in the country since 1987. Well, they've been sharpening their machetes for a hot second. Though people may still be sentenced to death. Sweet. Nigeria. The country that is on track to have the 3rd or 2nd largest population by 2050. Like, their birth rate is through the roof. Case in point, they probably got a certain law to point back on to just go ahead and thank for that. The penal code mandates a 14-year jail sentence, but the death penalty may be applied in the 12 northern states that follow Sharia law. Oh man, stop trying to sell me so hard on Islam right here. Okay, so you got Gabon going in the wrong way. What's this? Never criminalized. So, okay, so in Mali, in African American, in Madagascar, it was never criminalized. Well, Madagascar is a pirate island. What do you expect? A lot of lonely men out there at sea. Some men go back to sea. Some men don't return. They take on too much water. And then in South Africa, where it's popular to have apartheid, the only country in Africa that recognizes same-sex marriage, civil unions, and adoption. It's funny. It's funny you don't want to call out the problems that South Africa is going through right now, but you want to make it known to the rest of the world that you're running a genocide on gays in most of the countries? Cool. Selective outrage, I guess. But we've heard from a couple of politicians out there in Uganda as to how popular these laws are, and given the fact that Reuters isn't talking about if this was like a unanimous decision by the courts or not, and that there's a lot of emotional reporting when it comes to this stuff and just kind of skirting the different laws. It's like, yeah, there's groomers that are over there, but they're teachers. What more could you expect? Like, just stop it at this point in time. So yeah, that leads me to believe that our Ugandan politician right here is, he's probably a man of the people and speaking some facts out here.
I have also read some literature which is saying that those ones who sympathize with homosexuals are likely to support them openly, which means they are even likely to do what? To become homosexuals, because why do you support something you don't believe in?
Why would you want to be gay? Anyways, you tried to engage in that stuff one more time, but guess what? Hey, I'll just go ahead. I'll let my brother right here, he can go ahead and just speak some facts here one more time.
Even likely to do what? To become homosexual, because why do you support something you don't believe in?
Exactly. Why would you want to stand for anything that if you didn't want to engage in it to begin with? Bunch of gay projectors out here, and we throw them out of our country. Oh my God. Get little glimmers of hope every once in a while. Very rarely from the West. It's more often than not from the more developed and prosperous parts of the Middle East. But Africa, man, didn't see that coming at all. Nope, not at all whatsoever. Should have listened to that little Knuckles, man. He definitely knows the way. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.